Welcome, everybody. What is going on, guys? The counselor here, getting ready to roll with the virtual tailgate. NFL Week 12 is here, guys. It's been a crazy year all around. This week particularly crazy because we got the COVID. We got a lot of crazy things going on. But listen, we're going to power through here. We're going to talk about the latest news and notes, injuries. But again, there's a lot of craziness, including the Denver Broncos, which is madness over there in Denver. I mean, I don't even know who quarterback is. So we're going to bring in Matt. Matt, what is going on, man?
Hey, Joe, how we doing?
I'm doing great.
Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to all of our American viewers out there. You and I are Canadians, so for us, it was just another regular day, but I hope everybody had a safe and happy holidays. Without further ado, you kind of queued up the Denver Broncos situation in there, and this has got to be the most 2020 thing to happen in 2020. So basically, the Denver Broncos are without a quarterback for their game this Sunday. So at the position will be wide receiver Kendall Hinton. He is a wide receiver and last played quarterback at Wake Forest. And I saw a very interesting statistic that said that he has more recently thrown a touchdown than Taysom Hill has with the New Orleans Saints. I find it really fascinating how the NFL really hasn't postponed this game, but they kind of made some exceptions to the Baltimore Ravens. I think the NFL at this point is kind of like, you know what, this is what you get if you don't follow the COVID protocol. There's been some teams who have stashed away quarterbacks, like the Buffalo Bills have with Jake Fromm. So, and the NFL has been coming down about players and teams not following their COVID protocol. So this is really just like, this is kind of like your fault, deal with it. There's a lot of other stuff we got to get to. The Detroit Lions have finally parted ways with their head coach, Matt Patricia, and their general manager, Bob Quinn, after a very lackluster performance this season.
Right.
Some interesting stuff coming out of San Francisco. It looks like the 49ers are going to be playing in Arizona because of Santa Clara County's new COVID-19 restrictions. It has banned all contact sports and mandated a 14-day quarantine for anybody traveling into and out of the area from 150 miles away. The New England Patriots were fined $350,000 for violating COVID protocols stemming from the issues back in October when Cam Newton and other players of the Patriots organization tested positive for the virus, which pushed back their Week 4 game against Kansas City. Another fine coming out of the NFL is the New Orleans Saints were fined $500,000 and docked a 7th-round pick for their maskless room celebration following their win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Speaking of the virus itself, we will have some notable players out today. Lamar Jackson is going to be out for the Baltimore Ravens. Starting running back Jonathan Taylor and James Conner are both going to be out due to COVID.
Wow, craziness, man. Denver's going to be the craziest game, man. I mean, they don't have a starting quarterback. Neither team does, right? So it's going to be entertaining to watch.
I think it's going to bring in a lot more viewers than the NFL is kind of happy about.
I think so as well. I think it's going to be thoroughly entertaining. I'm going to be watching that for sure. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, we're going to jump over here. We got all the matchups to cover here, but let's go right to the Bears and Packers 8:00 game. Let's bring on. I want to work our way kind of backwards. Let's work backwards today, or well, this one anyway. We'll go backwards with this one. What is going on? Let's talk to Faizan and Alex. Why don't you guys break this down, man? You guys can go at each other's throats. By the way, before I get into this one real quick, I want to say, Faizan, you guys are pretenders. Just got to say that, unless you want to stick up for it here.
No, Joe, I can't defend. That. But I can tell you this: today is the triumphant return of Mitchell Trubisky. So I know boss over there is shaking in his room over there because Mitch's back. Just want to let him know that, boss. What do you think about that?
Man, I don't think it's going to be a triumphant return. It's Mitch Trubisky. I'm not saying he's terrible, but I'd personally rather play him than Nick Foles. That's just what I think. I'm from around Philly. I've seen Nick Foles. I respect the guy. I just don't see Mitch Trubisky, winning this game or putting up enough offense to win this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is, or the Packers with Aaron Rodgers is 8-0 against the Bears in Sunday Night Football all time. So I don't see that changing. Also, I saw that Hakeem Hicks and Charlie Leno is their game time decisions, which is really big. If Hicks can't go, Aaron Jones should have a field day. But also, I think David Montgomery, he's back, correct?
Yep, he's back.
Yeah. So Montravius Adams is put on IR for the Packers, and he was actually an underrated run defender for the Packers there. So I see Montgomery having a pretty decent day. I know he's only averaging 3.6 on the year, but I could see the Bears running pretty well today.
Yeah, so here's where I'm at. Look, I wasn't picking the Bears to win this game even before Mitch got announced as a starter, but because of Mitch being announced as a starter, I just feel like we just have a little bit more of a chance here, okay? Joe's right. The Bears have been pretenders because their offense is the worst in the NFL. And yes, that includes the New York Jets. All right. But the only way I see us, kind of making this a game and having a shot against the Packers is, Mitch maybe uses his legs, which Nick Foles couldn't do because he's a statue in the pocket. You get the run game going. Hopefully the offensive line plays a little bit better. But again, you're in Lambeau. It's in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, like Boss just said on Sunday Night Football, it's tough. So all I want is actually a competitive game at this point. I mean, to me, it's just it's difficult to see how the Bears win this one. But I just want Mitch to be able to give us a shot, and I think he will.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be a competitive game too. They usually are with the Bears and Packers. There's a select few where it's just like blowouts and whatnot, but usually it is. It's a divisional game, and you said it is Green Bay, it is Lambeau, but at the same time, it's really not. Without these fans, the Packers haven't had actually a good record at Lambeau this year. They haven't been the same like they usually are at home, so it doesn't really mean as much. But also, like you said, I just want a competitive game as well, and I think that's what it's going to be. The Packers are 9-point favorites, but I could see it being closer than that.
Yeah, I will take the Bears to cover that. I'm just telling you that because the Bears defense stops people from scoring, but then their offense can't score. So these games always tend to be low scoring. But I'm going to go Bears lose this game 23-17. How about you?
I got 24-17 Packers, so we're right on there. Yep.
There we go. Okay.
We're right on there.
There you go, Joe.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. It's going to be good. Norb, are you here, man?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Norb, can you break down the Seahawks? You're the Monday night game, I believe, so we're going to let you go now so you don't have to wait to the end. I really like your team, man. I think the Seahawks could be true contenders for the Super Bowl this year, man. What are your thoughts on this game? I think it's an easy win.
I'm feeling very good about where the team is right now. We had that big win over the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry, AZ Sports fan. I know that was heartbreaking for you. But we needed that win, given that we had lost to the Cardinals the first time we met with them in overtime. So getting that win, being able to shut down Kyler Murray, and really what that game for me represented was a transition from what the defense had been, and Russell Wilson getting out of his kind of turnover funk that he had been in for the previous 3 games. So he was looking good. Defense was starting to get pressure from the front four, not having to rely entirely on the blitz. A lot of that's because of Carlos Dunlap, who we got from the Cincinnati Bengals. And so that, plus this long week, we've been able to get a lot of key starters back. The 3 key ones at this point are center Ethan Posick, cornerback Shaquille Griffin, and most importantly, Chris Carson back at the running back position. We saw once Seattle has a running game, everything changes offensively, especially Russell Wilson is able to kind of do what he does, but he kind of needs that balanced offense just to be able to keep some of the pressure off and make the defense have to respect the run. And then that's where he can burn them with the pass and the deep throws. So I think that's really going to play in the favor for Seattle this week. I'm super excited, and I feel like they're just turning this corner. And Seattle typically starts to get good once December comes along, and we're now entering that December time period. So I feel like, and we're hitting one of the easiest points of our schedule moving forward. And so the Eagles are struggling. Carson Wentz has been a turnover machine, and they just have a lot of issues that they've been dealing with. But what I like most is that our history with the Eagles, we've beaten them six times in a row in our last 6 meetings, twice in Philadelphia last year. And I don't see that changing this week. So I predicted at the beginning of the season that this was going to be a 33-24 game. I think Seattle could put up 33 points. I don't know if the Eagles can put up 24, but I'll stick with my prediction from the beginning of the year that we'll go 33, that we'll win 33-24, at least by that deficit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I don't blame you. Can the Eagles surprise you? I think they're getting Zach Ertz back, I think, for this one, aren't they? From what I hear.
I I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I'll have to check to see if there's any change on that report. I see Zach over there shaking his head in the Zoom, so he may not be, which is
he'll be back next week possibly, but he's not coming back this week. It's going to be Dallas Goedert.
Okay, fair enough. All right, perfect. So yeah,
all the more reason to feel like just more things. Seattle getting healthier at the right time, and Eagles not. So,
all right,
it'd be good for Seattle.
Let's go Seattle. I'm rooting for it because I still have that Russell Wilson rookie card, the signed one, and if he gets MVP, my card goes up. So I'm all in. I'm with you, Norb. Me and you on the same boat this year, man.
I think it's going to be a good run. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that if we can go on a nice run here and take care of the Rams in the rematch down the stretch, and hopefully the 49ers to finish up the season, could be a very interesting race in the NFC. It starts on Monday.
Could be. Thanks, Norb. Let's move on to AZ and Patriots. I'm going to let these guys battle it out. Two of the nicest guys on the planet are going to battle it out and get angry at each other here. 1 o'clock game, AZ and Patriots. What's going on? Colby and Mike, what's happening, guys?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? How are you?
I'm good, man. Mike seems very confident this year, and they are the 1.5 point favorite that they could take you guys out today.
Yeah, and it seems like every time I come on here and I say that the Patriots are going to win, it doesn't happen. And then when I say the Patriots are going to lose, they end up winning. So I'm just going to straight out come here and say the Patriots are going to lose this game. And then hopefully that just continues to happen. And then the Patriots just surprise us and take the dub.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
I mean, that philosophy has worked against the Detroit Lions. So honestly, I wouldn't put it past the Arizona Cardinals if they did lose, unfortunately. But here's the thing with the Cardinals. It's the inconsistency of our defense. Obviously, I think, Vegas has us winning. I want us to win. On paper, we should win, but the Cardinals lose to the teams that we shouldn't lose to. So I wouldn't be surprised that we do lose, unfortunately. But, I never go ahead and say anything bad about Bill Belichick. He does have a, defensive mind. So I'm a little worried in that aspect of it all.
Yeah. And I mean, look, the Patriots are just extremely inconsistent this year. We thought that the win against the Baltimore Ravens was a statement win. Then they go and they just get blown the frick out by the Houston Texans, which should never have happened. And then, of course, the Baltimore Ravens also lose another game. So much for a statement win. But they'll beat good teams sometimes, and then they'll have games where, look, and now they're losing to the Broncos and they're losing to the Texans. So with New England, you never know. The Patriots do have a better defense statistically, whether that is defending the pass, whether that is stopping the run. The Patriots do have the better number there versus the Cardinals. But of course, offensively, the Cardinals do have that matchup on the Pats. So, it's going to be tough with Rex Burkhead out, with their starting left tackle Isaiah Wynn heading to IR. The Patriots do have some more deficits on the offensive side of the ball, which they cannot afford to have, but they do. So, I mean, I just don't know if they're going to be able to get it going offensively enough. And then defensively, I just don't know if they're going to have enough to stop Kyler Murray.
I mean, I hope so, man. I really do see maybe this game being like a low scoring game because, like you said, your defense is really, really good. So probably maybe anywhere between 17-13. Obviously, I have the Cardinals winning because Cardinal fan and I'm a bias here. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
For sure. Yeah. So, I mean, score prediction wise, I'm going to go. I'm giving you a high number because, again, I'm hoping if I just am very generous to you, that God will rain down on me and give me this big win the other way. So I'm going to go 24-14 Cardinals.
All right. We'll take it.
All right, guys. We appreciate it. And Murray is healthy, right? AZ?
Yes, Murray is healthy. Yeah, exactly. He had a shoulder injury during the Seahawks game, and I know I heard that shot from Norb earlier. So I was sad. I was crying a little bit, but I'm healed up. On to the next game. On to the Patriots here.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. One more question, Mike, before you go. I was talking to my friend here. We did a preview show, and we can't find a dark horse because so many records are so close. Do you think the Cardinals are actually a dark horse to win the Super Bowl this year, or do you think they're above the radar, below? Where do you level these guys out? Where do you think they are?
Yeah, honestly, the way this team is, it really reminds me of like the when we did go into the Super Bowl, like with Kurt Warner and all that different stuff. But the thing is that I need to see more consistency with the defense.
Right.
I mean, we have a 6-game stretch here. I mean, anything changes at any given Sunday. I definitely see the Cardinals making the playoffs, a wild card spot, but
Correct.
Super Bowl, I think we're still probably a year or two away from that.
Fair enough. I appreciate your honest feedback. All right, thank you guys. Let's move on here to the Miami Dolphins and the Jets. I know the ambassadors are waiting here, so we're going to go through the games where all the ambassadors are present. Miami Dolphins and the Jets. Let's roll with Ian. Let's have him win at something. So we're going to have him go first. Ian, what's going on, man?
Joe, how are you? What's up, man?
Good, man. Always a pleasure, man. I mean, you are the guy that, is the most optimistic person considering the circumstances here. 0-10. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, again, like I mentioned it last week, I'm pretty much numb to losing. But you know what? It's all cool, right? It's all cool because it's just one more week until the Jets get their hands on Trevor Lawrence, right? The best quarterback prospect ever. If there's any year to tank or to really just be this bad, it would be this year, right? Without fans in the stands, with one of the best quarterback prospects ever to come out. I mean, yes, it does suck losing every week, but again, I'm just pretty much just counting down the days, essentially.
As you said, we kind of talked about this last week. I mean, I don't think you guys are purposely losing, but based on the studying of these games, do you think really the coaching is kind of setting them up to lose game-wise? Do you find that the script and all that is laid out so that they kind of just lose so that they can get that first overall pick, or do you find that that's happening?
So I think it's coming down from the top down. So like, I think the front office wants to lose big time. I think that was kind of the plan going in, with just like the release of Le'Veon Bell, keeping Adam Gase, with not bringing Robbie Anderson back. There was a lot of moves that the Jets kind of did throughout the course of the season, or early on in the season, that told me that the Jets wanted to lose. But I don't think the players are out there purposely dropping passes and Sam Darnold's missing reads. I mean, his career's on the line. I don't think he's out here purposely trying to lose. And as far as Adam Gase and the coaching staff goes, I just think they're that bad. I don't think they're trying to lose. I just think they're that horrible.
All right, I want to talk to Doug. Doug, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I want to run something by you. Again, I was doing my preview show, Fire and Ice, with Tom Santinello, and we were talking about this. I want to get your feedback, and you could break down the game too, but I have a specific question here. Tua, I mean, did they not? I didn't watch the game, but they took him out, right? And if that's true, I didn't watch all the game. They brought in Fitzpatrick. Why would you do that? I mean, the guy wasn't getting dominated or blown out last week. You take out the guy that's supposed to be your future. That is a shot in the fucking nuts. Like, to me, if I'm a coach, I would not bring him out for that. What happened there? Do you agree that this was kind of crazy taking Tua out? That was disrespectful, right?
Yes and no. Honestly, looking at the game, looking at how poorly the offensive line was playing, and look at how they were struggling, I could see, yeah, definitely. People would be like, wow, why would you take Tua out? You put him in, and if you're going to put him in, you should never take him out.
Right.
He did get taken out in Alabama as well, and being coached by Nick Saban, literally nothing can really hurt your feelings. So I don't think morality, he'll be like hurt, or I don't think his, confidence will be shot after this. But it was a shock. I was live streaming it, and the chat was telling me that Fitz is in. I thought they were messing with me. I did not expect it. And then at first, everyone thought it was his ankle, but his ankle's fine. It was just that there's a video that got released where he was talking to Fitz, and Fitz literally said to him, "You're not going to have time to get to your third read. You have to get the ball out before then." And so Fitz even noticed out how bad the offensive line was playing, and how even Fitz couldn't get time. So it was a combination of things. Probably Flores wanted to win the game,
right?
And he felt like Tua, being a rookie, was having a hard time processing quicker.
But you got to power through. Sorry to interrupt.
The offensive line was going, and a combination of not probably wanting Tua to get killed, being sacked 6 times in the game.
Right.
So.
Well, sorry to interrupt. Like I said, to me, again, this is me. I'm not a coach. I'm not an owner. But that's a shot. It's an etiquette thing, man. Like, these are the times where you got to power through. This is our guy. This is our future. Fitzmagic is the future of nobody. He is the Roy Jones. Roy Jones is a better athlete than Fitz. Like, more promising. The point I'm trying to make is, if you watch the Tyson and Roy Jones didn't look like he wanted to be there. There comes a point in your career where you're done. You're not going to hit the pinnacle of your sport. Fitzmagic is not going to hit he's not going to win a Super Bowl. And to bring him back in, I would say, fuck you. I'm fucking staying in this fucking game. I'm the future of this fucking team. Again, that's me. But again, it's just stupid. It's pointless. I don't know. That's just me.
And you saw it because Tua doesn't turn the ball over. And that's the thing that Fitz even said to him. He was like, you're not going to get to your third read. And sometimes they're not going to look open, but you can fit the ball in there. But then Fitz comes out, gets him a field goal, marches down the field, looks like he was going to tie the game up for the Dolphins.
Interception. Threw an interception, yep.
So it's like a lot of people want to say like, oh, put Fitz in, Tua is struggling. But then you see the difference. The kid's a rookie. Like you said, keep him in there. He's a rookie. He's going to learn.
Give him a chance.
Just keep doing it.
He's going to fail. He's not going to come in and have a picture-perfect game every game. Like, he's going to struggle. Pat Mahomes struggles sometimes. Like, people just struggle. You're fucking human, right? Anyway, that's my thoughts. I had to run that by you. Expectations for this game. I mean, could you be the dark horse? Do you have what it takes to win it this year? It's a reach.
Coming from the offensive line struggles, the fact that the Miami Dolphins don't have a run game worries me. But with Brian Flores being the type of coach to teach resiliency, and him winning 5 games with nothing, there is a good possibility. I just want them to get in. They can get in the playoffs. Anything could happen. But when it comes to this game scares me because the Dolphins should win and the Jets should lose. The Jets as an organization probably want to lose the game because me and Ian talked about this on my channel that Jaguars are sitting there with 1 win with the possibility of getting that first overall pick if the Jets somehow find a way to win this game. So it's a perfect situation for the Dolphins to win and the Jets to lose. Both fan bases are happy. Go home, do your thing. But knowing the Dolphins, they sometimes like to play down to their competition and have a very bad record of losing to very underrated teams on the road. So I swear, if they don't win, Joe, I'm going to have a very angry post-game video.
Ian, what do you think? Is there a shot in hell?
There's always a shot. It's football. I think Doug's right. He said knowing the Dolphins, they always find a way to, mess things up. Well, hey, the Jets do too, and I think as we stand right now, if it was just like an agreement on paper, I would be more than happy just to accept this loss and move forward. Because again, Adam Gase is not the future. Sam Darnold's not the future. The Jets only have maybe 2 players on a 53-man roster that are worth building around and keeping for next year. There's literally 0 point to win this meaningless football game. The only thing it does is it hurts the draft position. Go back and look at teams that have picked 2nd and 3rd in previous NFL drafts, and just look at the meaningless games that they won. Maybe one here, one there down the stretch of a season that ruined them getting, Cam Newton for the Carolina Panthers or Matthew Stafford for the Detroit Lions. We've seen this a lot. The Jets cannot mess this up. No. As shitty as it sounds. I don't root for my team to lose, and I never really want to do that or be that kind of fan. But in situations like this, where we literally have 0 bright spots, we have Mekhi Becton, Denzel Mims. That's it. That's it. So it literally makes no sense.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Anything else, Doug, on this one?
No, just Dolphins need to get their stuff together. They got the Jets, they got the Bengals, and they have a tough game against those Kansas City Chiefs that Fitz doesn't play well against. So hopefully Tua comes back from his banged up thumb for that game. So
Fitz is sorry, I wasn't aware of the injury. Sorry, you said Tua's not starting today, right?
Yeah, no, he's got he hit his thumb on one of the players' helmets.
Oh, geez.
So he's not going today. And now I just found out that I'm hearing that it's not broken, but the swelling is pretty bad, and there's a possibility he also doesn't go next week. So we'll see how this all goes out.
Unbelievable. It's been that type of year, man. It's been absolutely crazy. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you as always.
Yeah, man.
We're going to move on to a battle here. Where's William here? William was really ripping into the Cowboys last week. Where's William? We got to talk to him and the Panthers here. I'll let you guys battle it out. You guys are both 4-7, 4-6 Vikings, 4-7 Panthers. This game, I don't know. You guys want to battle this out? What are expectations for this? Will and keep pounding. What's going on, man? Where are you?
Well, let me start off by saying at the start of the season, if you ask Viking fans who their second team was this year, what other team could you root for this year? It was the Panthers. And it's because Teddy's coming home. And I think this will be a player that in the Viking fans' minds will continue to be the what if guy. What if his knee doesn't give out that day at practice at the facility? And I just think today, honestly, look, we love Teddy Bridgewater. Zim loves Teddy Bridgewater. Everybody loves Teddy. And I think fans are a little disappointed that McCarthy, the stuff, just happened last week with McCarthy and the Cowboys, and just Zim couldn't get a pass rush going. But this week, I think there's a lot of positive vibes coming in this week with Teddy coming home. And look, I just think every Viking fan, if we're being honest with you, if the Vikings don't have a good season, we are really rooting for Carolina to have a good season because we want to see Teddy do well.
That's cute. That's cute right there. Thought we were playing in the National fucking Football League, not the Care Bear League. Let's talk about this real quick, man. Yeah, he's coming home. Hopefully Teddy can keep his fucking emotions in check. He's not coming out here and want to bump fists and hug and cry. You know what I mean? We still got a game we're trying to win here. The Carolina Panthers are unpredictable. They're good. They shut down the Detroit Lions. They held them to 0. Got Matt Patricia the fuck up out of here. He's homeless now. So it depends on which team are we going to see. We've seen where they came off a tough game against New Orleans, and then they put up a stinker against Atlanta. We've seen where they come off a tough game against Kansas City, put up a good game there, and then they shit the bed against Tampa Bay. So, I mean, here's one of these things. Again, we come off a good game with Detroit. How will we show up? Now, one thing about Minnesota that I love our matchup is the Cowboys absolutely destroyed their young corners. We're talking about Dancer and Jeff Gladney. Those guys got abused, okay? So now you're talking about the Robbie Andersons, Kurt Samuel. You're talking about DJ Moores of the league, the top duos in the NFL when it comes to receiving yards. And they're going up against those rookies. Good luck with that. Also, they gave up a ton of rushing yards to Pollard, the backup running back for the Cowboys. Also, Ezekiel Elliott torched those guys on the ground. So you guys got a cream puff-ass defensive line. Should be right for the feeling. But here's the thing that scares me about you guys. You got some really good linebackers. You got Eric Kendricks, and you got Wilson as well. You got Harrison Smith over top at safety. I just don't think it's enough to help out those cornerbacks. But if Teddy Bridgewater comes out here, he gets in his feelings, gets emotional, it could be a bad day with those linebackers. Now, Dalvin Cook, again, another guy who gives me the creeps right now, all right? This guy hits the hole, one cut, he's down the field. They're a vertical passing offense, all right? They don't do a lot of passing from sideline to sideline. They take their shots down the field. So if they can get in balance with Dalvin Cook running the ball, it could be a long day. But I like our odds, 27-23 Carolina.
Wow.
Let me tell you, the Vikings, Ezra Cleveland's not playing today. Thielen's not playing today, more than likely, unless there's been an update. So you got Jefferson at the number 1 wide receiver today. Irv Smith probably isn't playing today. I expect the Vikings to go a lot of 2 tight end today and pound the freaking ball. Zim is going to try to pound the ball and control the clock and keep his defense as fresh as possible. That's just the way the game's going to be won today. Now, I feel pretty good about doing some cooking today. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that Carolina defense against the Vikings if they go 2 tight end. It's going to be one in the trenches. This game is going to be, can the Vikings defensive line put any pressure this week on Teddy? Can the offensive line open up holes for Cook? And can, when they run the ball enough, if they take their shot deep to Jefferson, can Cook connect? That's what this game's going to be all about today. And I'm feeling good about Cook. I'm feeling good about the Vikings today. Yeah, you say it's not the Care Bear League, but look, what Teddy went through that day, I see that's the difference there. Viking fans understand, because he was a Viking at the time, that Teddy almost lost his leg that day. He was an hour away from losing his leg and being done. So call us the Care Bears of the NFL, but yeah, we love Teddy Bridgewater and we wish the best for him. And Viking fans, I'd rather be a Care Bear than an asshole talking about this guy almost lost his leg and is he a crybaby?
Oh,
if y'all don't want him, we'll take him back next year.
Look, man,
we'll take it back if y'all don't want him.
Everybody has a sad story. I can name 3 or 4 other players that have sad stories in the NFL.
Yeah, but our sad story is playing quarterback for you today.
At the end of the day, look, we got to win here. It's not about friendship or old, chemistry or anything like that. I want to fucking win. I'm glad he recovered. I'm with that. I'm all with that. But I'm not sitting here trying to paint a story so the NFL can sell tickets or watch views. I'm not with that. I want to fucking win. That's all I care about.
right. It's going to be a good one, guys. I appreciate it.
It's going to be a good game.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you as always. We'll see you guys next week. I'll be watching this one. I think there's gonna be some cookie time today for sure. I think he's gonna be running wild. He's gonna be like Hulkamania out there. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Let's move on to the game that I'm doing with the Titans, Colts, Titans. Mark, you there, man? What's up, man?
Hey, Joe. What's going on? Yep, we're here, and it's battle of the AFC South today, man.
Another 1 o'clock game. I got Peyton Manning present here behind me. There he is. I got the memory of Andrew Luck here behind me, and I wish those quarterbacks were starting for us today. We are the 3.5-point favorite here is what I'm seeing here. 7-3 versus 7-3. You know, I was talking about this on my show for the preview, and I honestly feel that the Tennessee Titans could bounce back. I think they lost last week. Am I right? I think Titans, did they win?
No.
Yeah. Or they won. They won.
Against the lovely Ravens.
That's right. Henry ran it in. Sorry, the momentum's going to come in. I mean, Colts had a big win as well.
Yep.
I don't know. I think the Titans keep it closer than people think. I don't know. I'm going to give the edge to them. I think they have a better running game. Jonathan Taylor's out with the vid. Derrick Henry coming off a good week. I know Colts defense could keep it tight, but I'm still going with the Titans here, man. I think they could. What do you think on this? Am I crazy?
Well,
it's too close.
Well, you're not crazy. The Titans in that first matchup, if you ask Colts fans, they thought they blew us out. They won 34-17. That's what the score looked like. I just want to remind all of you, 4:14 left, third quarter. ESPN gave the Tennessee Titans a 56.5% chance to win. Then the 17-yard punt happened. Well, Kern didn't play. He was on the IR at that time. And we brought in some guy who's never, I think he kicked for the Texans, Trevor Daniel. He's from University of Tennessee. He had an awful game. And then he got it blocked for return for a touchdown. That game just totally opened. Special teams was the issue. Brett Kern is back today. So hopefully we can shore up that end. And like I said, the Colts got a lot of guys out too.
DeForest
on
Buckner.
the defensive side of the ball.
DeForest Buckner is out.
Yep. Autry's out. I forget the other guy's name.
I think Bobby, the linebacker.
Yep.
Bobby
the linebacker's out.
Okay, yeah.
So again, if the Titans, there's no excuses today. We have our injuries too, but we should be able to go in there and hopefully run the ball. Remember, Derrick Henry, 19 carries, 5 yards per carry against the Colts defense, who thinks they're number one in the league, which they've had a great season. But he was on like a pitch count or something. Derrick Henry's going to run the ball, just as Baltimore last week.
Yeah, looking at the standing is kind of weird. Like everybody's so close. Like there's a lot of 7 and whatever teams, like 6 and whatever teams, right? Everyone's so close. Would you even consider the Titans as a dark horse at this point? Like where would you kind of put them?
I think we've had a rocky last couple of weeks in the last 5 games. We started 5-0. The last 5 games we were 2-3, but it's playoff time, baby. And if I know anything about this team in Vrabel, you're going to get the playoff blueprint, so to speak, for the Tennessee Titans. Run the ball, try to stop the run, and make you do anything possible to go down the field. You can dink and dunk all you want, but when it's time to get a stop. And just remember this too, Indianapolis lost week 1 to the Jaguars. So that's a divisional game. Right now, the Titans and the Colts both have 1 division loss, but the Titans get this one today. We'll go from a half game back to a game and a half over the Colts. So it's a big game for both teams.
Yeah, for sure. Huge game to really put your stance in that division. Well, I appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate it, man. I'm thinking Titans win this one. At least they'll easily cover the spread, I think. I think it'll be closer than people think, and I think they might have the edge here. And I'm going to edge it out just on a better running game there. I don't know if the Colts are going to get it done on the running game. And I just think the Titans have better weapons at wide receiver, too. So
yeah, and watch Hines on the Colts. He tore us up the first time. So yeah. We got to be able to shore that up in our outstanding linebacker, Jayon Brown. Unfortunately, with dirty hit last week by the Ravens offensive lineman, took him out, and he's out for the year. So,
all right, man. We
lighten up. We'll see you soon, Joe.
Appreciate it, man. Let's go here. Let's talk to Matt. Are you there, Matt? Matt's stepped away. He's going to cover there he is. Where is he?
I'm here. I'm in a different seat now. I'm always NFL Raider. I'm the news guy. Now I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and I'm here because I want to talk about our game with the Los Angeles Chargers. First of all, I think hell has a better chance of freezing over than the Chargers have of winning this game. The Bills are coming off a bye week. They looked really, really good against the Seattle Seahawks. A little iffy against Arizona. I don't want to talk about DeAndre Hopkins. They've had a pretty suspect run defense so far this year, so I could see the Chargers kind of exposing that, but Justin Herbert going against a pretty good secondary in Tre'Davious White. Bills are going to get their second straight or their second cornerbacks back this game, as Josh Norman and Levi Wallace and everybody was pretty much their entire secondary was out due to contact tracing. So they're getting Levi Wallace back, Josh Norman back, and Justin Herbert's going to have a tough day through the air. I really don't see any possible way that the Chargers are going to win this game. The Bills are really in the thick of it when it comes to playoff contention. Certainly think they're going to win the AFC East, but one thing I am a little bit concerned about this matchup is how Joey Bosa is going to be able to kind of go through our offensive line like a hot knife through butter. The Bills' offensive line has been pretty much held together by duct tape and prayers so far this year. They've yet to play a full NFL game with their offensive line that they went into training camp with. Deion Dawkins has been injured. Brian Winters has been injured. Mitch Morse has had so many concussions that I'm actually concerned for the guy's personal life. So it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up against one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Yeah, I think Eckler's back today. I mean, that's not really.
I think he's back next week.
Is he next week?
Practicing this week.
Oh, I thought he was back this week.
Yeah, week 12, he's looking to make his return.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really scared. It's only Austin Eckler, so I'm not really concerned.
You hate that guy, man.
I don't know.
What did he do to you?
Well, no. Here's what I hate. What I hate is that he was a backup for years. Okay, he had a little bit of a good season last year, and everybody in fantasy said, "Oh, he's all good now. He's a workhorse back." He's not a workhorse back. If he was phenomenal, he would have beat the just above par, slightly above par Melvin Gordon. He never did, right? That's what I feel, right? If you're really that outstanding, you're going to come in the league and be outstanding. Zeke Elliott came in the league, took over, who was it? Alfred Morris, whoever the other guy was, DeMarco Murray, whoever was starting that year. Zeke Elliott came in, starter, tore it up. This isn't like Kenyon Drake. Everyone's high on him, right? Like, oh, Kenyon Drake's having a good year. Dude, he was a backup in Miami for years. So I'm all about the guys that come out strong and maintain, and not the guys that were backups. So not that I hate him. It's just that I hate that he gets all of this love for fantasy. I'm like, dude, like, relax, and sure enough, it's proven he got injured. He's not a workhorse. So again, that's kind of my thoughts on Eckler. Buffalo takes this game anyway. Easy one for them, I think.
100%. I think we absolutely slap them, and I think a lot of people really like Austin Eckler, especially in PPR leagues, because we've talked about this before. He's not really a running back. He's more like I'm gonna do a little wheel route outside the backfield. And he gets a lot of targets out of that. So I assume that's why he gets a lot of love. Yeah,
he's a good athletic player, just not a guy I would draft in the end of first round, early second, which is where he was going this year in fantasy, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think if it's a 4th and 3 on the goal line, I don't know if he's getting you that touchdown every time.
No, probably not. Well, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for covering in here. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you bet. Go Bills.
All right, let's go with the team here. Let's just jump over to let's do the Chiefs and the Bucks here. What is going on, guys? Start off with the Chiefs. What's up, Dan?
Sounds good. How you doing? You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, man. What's going on? This should be the most exciting game of the week. Am I wrong?
I think it's going to be a very good game. The problem is Tom's the GOAT until somebody knocks him off. If you guys check my article, I've got an article up on FTFN. My latest one is running it back the right way. And that's where the Chiefs, the problem, they're facing a team in the Kansas City Chiefs that has MVPs at every level of the organization. They have an MVP executive in Brett Veach, an MVP coach, first ballot Hall of Famer in Andy Reid, and a quarterback who's just setting the NFL record books on fire. And they've been a model of consistency. The Tampa Bay Bucks, I mean, they go in, they handily beat the Panthers twice this year, and then they lose to Chicago and almost have to go to overtime against the Giants and should have had to go to overtime. They made the right call on that play for the 2-point conversion, called the pass interference because the guy ran through the receiver, and then they pick up the flag because it's Tom, and they don't want to give that to the Giants. So trust me, as a Chiefs fan playing against the Patriots those years with Tom over there, I know how that feels. And the tide's turning on that. Tom's not the guy that he was a few years ago. People talk about he's got better weapons than he's ever had. Okay, then explain to me why with 5 games left to go in the season, the Tampa Bay Bucks, with all these great weapons, have lost as many games as the Patriots did in 13 of Tom's 20 years. Okay, you got Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, who's en route right now. The last 3 games, he's thrown 1,137 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 pick. There's 2 more blocks of 3 games. If he does the same thing in those 2 blocks, he's on pace to throw for 5,139 yards, 49 touchdowns, maybe throwing another one if he gets one game where his hair's on fire. And he'll be the first quarterback ever to go 50 and 5,000 twice in his career. And it's only his 3rd year as a starter. The Chiefs are handling business. It starts with the roster. I mean, this is the most tumultuous year that we've all experienced. There's never been a pandemic in anybody's life who's not in a wheelchair right now. If there's anybody alive that's 100 plus years old, 108 years old, or whatever it is, since the Spanish flu. So we're all dealing with unprecedented times, really. The NFL's handled it up to this point. Up until I'd say last week, as good as anybody could. Right. And then this week, it's just been it's been a dumpster fire. Clearly, I've expressed before in articles I've written on my Chiefs chat on Wednesday nights on my channel that I feel like, I'd be all in for an NFL bubble. I know it's an organizational nightmare, but you know what? The NFL's got more money than God with a small G.
Yeah.
So make it happen if you want to save the season, because right now it looks like there's a crash about to happen and it's not looking really good. But the Tampa Bay Bucs, they have tons of weapons. They have 2 great backs in Fournette and Ronald Jones, but everywhere across the board, it's like last week they lost to the Rams. And I saw this chat board and I was all ready to go in with all these stats and ideals and like the situation. Okay, we lose LDT, we lose Kelechi Osemele, we knew Damian Williams is going to be out for the year. What's Brett Veach do? He goes out and he gets Remmers. He gets Stefan Wisniewski now, who was like a stalwart for us last season. He gets Daniel Kilgore, who like invigorates his career. So there's 3 linemen. He drafts a 1st-round draft pick at running back, which I wanted and I invoked for. I didn't. Clyde wasn't my first pick out of the running backs, but he was up there. And everybody was like, you're crazy to take a running back in the 1st round. We had a bunch of guys on 1-year contracts. We were about to be without a running back in 2021. So Brett Veach slides in, 1st round draft pick, running back. Let's go. Brian Westbrook 2.0. Okay. And then we start looking like we're going to be mediocre at best at the run game. What does he do? He goes and signs some dude off the scrap heap. I don't know, Le'Veon Bell of the 2 All-Pros. The guy's been so great for so long. Everybody thinks he should be like Zeke right now, who's fallen off a cliff at 25 years old. Le'Veon's he's in his 20s. The guy's not even 30 yet, and he's got his first touchdown this past week. The guy's going to be like a shark and smelling blood in the water. So,
all right,
unless Tom has a reinvigoration of his career at the highest order, the 16th rated pass defense of the Bucs is not going to stop Patrick Mahomes.
What do you got to say about all that, Liam?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an extremely high-scoring game, first and foremost, because this defense, I don't think there's any answer for Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to be straight up. I think he's going to slice and dice us. We're missing Jamel Dean today. We haven't been able to get any pressure on the quarterback from the front 4. Even when we bring blitzes at times, we're just not getting to the quarterback. And if we do bring those blitzes, I got to imagine that Mahomes is probably going to shred him. But at the same time, I have all the trust in the world in Tom Brady. I have all the trust in the world in Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. All the Bucs losses this year have come against top 10 defenses, top 5 defenses. The Saints twice. The Rams are the number 1 defense in the NFL right now, and the Bears. And we were banged up that game. I do think Tom's going to have a bounce back performance. The Chiefs defense obviously isn't terrible. It's solid, and I think they're giving up. I think they have the 4th best opposing quarterback passer rating with like an 84.9 or something. So I mean, this team can play, but I do think Tom's going to bounce back. I think this is going to be a really high scoring game. I mean, I'm talking like 38-35. This is what all eyes are going to be on Mahomes and Brady, and I think this is going to be a really high scoring game. It's so frustrating because as a Bucs fan, when you look at this roster, you do ask like, it feels like they should be able to score on every drive. And that loss against the Rams last week, though, that was on Tom. It was on Brady. I mean, both those interceptions he threw were just downright ugly throws, looked like rookie mistakes, bad reads, bad throws. And it's just, what Tom are we going to get? Are we going to get the Tom that we got in Las Vegas? Or are we going to get the Tom we saw against Green Bay? The Bucs have blown out good teams this year. So it's just kind of like it's so up in the air. But I do think Mahomes is going to shred these guys. It's, can we protect Tom Brady? Ali Marpet and Donovan Smith are game-time decisions. A.Q. Shipley is now probably done for his career with this neck injury. So if those guys can't go, we got Josh Wells and Joe Haig having to step up. And I'm not going to lie, if those guys are going and Tom Brady's not going to get the protection he needs, it could be an ugly game. Tom needs protection. Everyone has known that throughout his entire career. If he can get the protection, you got to imagine with these receivers, something's going to crack. He's been struggling on deep balls the last 3 weeks, hasn't completed anything. Eventually, come on, it's Tom Brady. Something's got to crack.
All right, guys.
So we'll see. I think it's going to be a really high score.
We got to kind of move on here. What's your final score here, guys, for this?
I'm going to go with my Bucks. I'm going to have confidence in Brady. I'm going to say 38-35.
Wow.
I think it's really high scoring.
I've got 38-24. Any given week, Tom's going to Tom, just like Fitz is going to Fitz. Tom, in the other direction, Goat's going to Goat, and he might play up to above his level right now. But I got a feeling that the one thing is with Tom, we got to look at right now, watch week to week on a week-to-week basis. I remember Dan Marino in his storied career, last thing I'll say, amazing player, gets in the playoffs against the Jags, and halfway through the first quarter, his arm just seemed to fall off, and he just wasn't the same guy anymore. Tom's in that ethereal mist right now of he's about to become not a great quarterback anymore, and it's never going to be reversible.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much, man. We got to wrap this up here with the Rams. What is going on, brother Trent?
Hey, I'm just happy to be here.
Man.
Just ready for this rivalry game, man. I don't know if you guys heard about the Black Friday special going on, but the 49ers 2020 win totals 50% off their 2019 record. So, just Black Friday for everyone, even the Niners.
I think you guys are for real, man. Honestly, I don't think the Rams are a joke. They don't have like this superstar team on paper, right? But yet you guys are doing really well.
Yeah, and I think that I've been thinking a lot about this lately because the last 2 years, the Rams lost a lot of household names. And coming into this season, unless you were following the Rams, you just look at, you don't have Gurley, you don't have Brandon Cooks, you don't have Dante Fowler, you don't have Corey Littleton, you don't have Greg Zuerlein. I mean, you just keep going down the list, Nickell Roby Coleman. All these guys at the Rams, were household names. But the Rams did a great job because they drafted well. And they bring in a new defensive coordinator. They recalibrate their whole philosophy. And, basically, if you didn't know, if you didn't follow the Rams, you didn't know this. And I think for myself, I felt the ceiling was high, but there were so many question marks. Just didn't know if a lot of these guys that they drafted, 3 years ago that haven't really played, just been waiting in the wings, if they were going to emerge and be solid. And, then they, obviously with Jalen Ramsey, they get him in trade last year, and they've coached up a lot of guys, they've drafted well, and it's kind of crazy to think that their offense is really the only, if you're going to think of a weak spot, that it's their offense in a way,
crazy, yeah,
and not the defense. It's always been vice versa. So. Yeah, I think they're a contender for the Super Bowl. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because injuries are kind of hitting everyone. Even the Rams now are getting bit. So, but you see the defense, and it is for real. And that's why when I look at this game against the 49ers, I feel like the real thing is the Rams defense against this 49ers offense is going to pretty much shut them down. You have Nick Mullins. Like, let's just be real about this. Yeah, you have Kyle Shanahan, and I don't want to put anything past Kyle Shanahan. He's a good coach, can scheme it up. All their running backs are back. Trent Williams is going to play in this game, but they have a rookie guard starting in this game, and only Deebo Samuel. So, like, when they played before that, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, right? And pretty much all their running backs and all their linemen, and Jimmy Garoppolo. But you just put Ramsey on Deebo and just say, erase Deebo. Then what else do you have? You have the running backs. Nick Mullins, is he going to do anything? So I feel like the Rams can shut down the 49ers offense. But it's if you flip it around to the Rams offense versus the 49ers defense, they're getting Richard Sherman's coming back in this game. Their secondary has been actually really good. Their linebackers are good. They have a guy out on the defensive line for COVID, one of their defensive tackles. So I feel like that's really where this game's going to be won or lost for the Rams is can they execute against the 49ers defense? And I think when they played before earlier in the season, that was one of the Rams' worst, sloppiest games. They just weren't firing. They weren't executing. They had just come off an East Coast trip. and went to San Francisco and played them, and Cooper Kupp had 11 yards. And I just don't see that happening this week. So I feel like this is I feel like the Rams also, there was some chatter after that game, and it really perked up Aaron Donald's ears and a lot of the Rams players' ears. And so I think they're just going to come out eye of the tiger and take care of business, because the 49ers offense does not scare me at all.
Yeah, I think Kupp is one of the most underrated wide receivers. He looked really good last week, honestly.
Yeah, here's the thing. He and Woods, I think both of them are the most underrated receivers, because if you go into Pro Football Focus and you just look at grades, you can see at their catch grade, but they also, out of almost every receiver, they have a pass blocking and a run blocking grade as receivers,
right?
Because they're so complete, and what the Rams do and what they use them for is yards after the catch. So, they don't have this 40 time, they don't have all these, great intangible NFL combine numbers, right? But what they do is they get the ball and they take off and they break tackles.
Yeah,
Woods get so many yards after the catch.
Woods was good in college, and I think he was on the Bills. He did nothing there. I was like, oh, maybe this guy isn't that good. And then he's stepped up, with the Rams. So, yeah, these guys find they're both are a little underrated, to be honest.
Yeah. Woods was kind of in no man's land in Buffalo back then. That's before Josh Allen was really there.
Yeah.
And he was injured a little bit, but he comes to the Rams, and, he's an LA guy. And, I think the Rams system is just really complete. Like if you watch a Rams game, you just look at what the receivers do, and they're blocking. They're all synced up. That play against Tampa Bay at the end of the first half, Robert Woods catches it on a tunnel screen, and he takes off. They spike the ball, kick a field goal with no time left. And that's because Robert Woods is aware, yards after the catch. He's cognizant, he's a heady player. And they don't take these guys that are just raw athletes, but really don't know how to play the position. So that's why, they take Van Jefferson, who is one of those guys, and will emerge in years to come. And the running back situation, I think the Rams are going to run the heck out of the ball in this game. And I think this is Cam Akers is getting a little more shine the last couple of weeks. So I feel like it's going to be a Henderson Cam Akers show. But at the same time, who really knows?
Right.
Because Malcolm Brown will probably just go out and have 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, Trev, man, I appreciate you. Did you give us a final score yet? We need a final score.
I'm going to go 27-10, and I'm being generous with the 7 or 10 for the Niners, thinking that they'll get a touchdown, because the Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown. Seattle only scored 1. So, I think it's going to be at least 27-10.
All right, man. Trent, I appreciate you. Thanks for being patient. Wait until the end, man. It means a lot. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we appreciate it. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We come here every Sunday, virtual tailgate. We appreciate you guys, and enjoy week 12.